Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm an adventurer, filmmaker and photographer from Cumbria, and welcome to the 5th episode in my Walking the Wainwright series. Today is Friday the 1st of December and winter has arrived here in Cumbria. It is very cold and there's a really hard frost on the ground. Everything is looking very white, which is quite magical. It feels like Christmas is well and truly around the corner. Today I'm doing the Mell Fell Medley, which just consists of 3 Wainwrights: Great Mell, Little Mell and Gowbarrow Fell. Welcome to the top of Great Mell Fell on a very calm winter's morning. Wainwright said of Great Mell Fell, "Great Mell Fell is a prominent object on the Penrith approach to Lakeland. With its lesser twin, Little Mell Fell, it forms the portals to Helvellyn Range on this side. Its round introverted pudding basin shape does not promise much for the walker and it's rarely climbed. On closer acquaintance, however, it is rather more enjoyable than its appearance suggests, because of the presence of fine woodlands on the lower slopes. Indeed, pines and larches persist almost to the summit, but closer acquaintance is frowned upon by the military authorities who stake claim here." Little Mell Fell barely merits inclusion in this book. It is a fell, its name says so, but it is not the stuff of which the true fells are made.
It rises on the verge of Lakeland, but its characteristics are alien to Lakeland. It stands in isolation, not in the company of others. Its substance looks more akin to the sandstones of the nearby Valley of Eden. Its patchwork clothing, gorse and lining prominent, is unusual on the other fells. It is ringed by a quiet and pleasant countryside of green pastures and lush hedgerows, and its heathery top is a fine place for viewing the greater merits of other fells. I thought I'd give a quick shout out to the EnglishWalkingman.com website, which is the frame of reference that I'm using for the 36 circuits I'm doing the 214 Wainwright walks in. By covering 3 more Wainwrights today, it takes me up to 31 in total from the Eastern Fells book, and just 4 more to go before I complete all the Wainwrights in the first book of the 7-volume series. At the top of Gowbarrow Fell, which is the 3rd Wainwright in the Mell Fell Medley, it stands at 1,579 feet of elevation, and Wainwright described its natural features as one of the best known of Lakeland's lesser heights, much of it belonging to the National Trust property and a favourite playground and picnic place. The fell springs from a mass of high dreary ground in the north and takes shape of a broad wedge, tapering as it falls to Ullswater. The delightful lower slopes here are beautifully wooded, but low crags and bracken in abundance make them rather difficult of access, except when they are traversed by the many pleasant green paths which add so much to Gowbarrow's charms. Wainwright describes the summit of Gowbarrow Fell as flowers and heather and bilberries bloom on the pleasant little ridge where stands the summit cairn. But the neighbourhood is drab. The ridge is fringed on the side facing Ullswater by a wall, short broken crags, and there are outcrops nearby. Gowbarrow Fell faces up Ullswater into the throat of a deep valley of Patterdale, and a feature of the view, the impressive group of the fells steeply enclosing it. Very little of the lake can be seen from the top of the fell because of the interfering high ground. Half a mile south of the cairn is a far better view point from Green Hill. Today's walk was completed in just over 6 hours, covering a total distance of 19.2 kilometres with 794 metres of elevation gain. Thanks for coming on a winter walk with me, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.